Right, so here we are for another unboxing slash running video slash review of another product that I picked up from Banggood. Now, as always, I'll have a link in the video description down below where you can click on the product web page on the Banggood website and you can check out all the specs and pricing and availability and all that good stuff in your own time. But for now, we're going to be talking about this guy. So this is the ATOMIC by Volantex. And I know it's a boat. I know that some of you are probably waiting for another car, perhaps another running video of another car, but today we're going to be checking this out because I do like my boats. This is only the 4th boat on the channel that I've had so far as I can remember. And this is actually not a terrible boat, although you'll find that I did have a couple of issues with it, and we'll talk about that a bit later on. But apparently this is advertised as the Volantex ATOMIC on the Banggood website, but I don't see Volantex printed anywhere on the box here. What I do see is this branding that says recent, I think. And down on this side of the box, we have produced, designed, and backed by X Hobby. So, which is just there. So I don't know exactly who makes this boat because really what we want to know is whether or not this boat's actually any good, does it perform as advertised, and is it worth your hard earned. But before we get into the unboxing and show you what all the contents that you actually get in the boat, and we'll talk about the specs of it a little bit in more detail, let's go to the running video so you can actually see this guy in action, and then we'll come back and I'll take you through the unboxing, well, at least all the contents that you get, and give you my final thoughts on it. So let's go do that. All right. Ooh, likes to go left. They need some trim. No, it wants to go right. That's weird. It's not very fast, but good. Goes all right. Wow, this thing turns on a dime. Oh, we scared the ducks away. They're nowhere to be seen. I'm trying to catch you, but there's no chance. It handles the choppy water not too bad. My boat handles the choppy water not too bad. Look how small it looks compared to the Spartan. No. Oh, a little shaky. Takes a little bit to get up on plane, I'm noticing. Wonder if it's taking in water here, because I better bring it in and check it. Sounds like my battery's just about done. That's not just a little bit of water. That's a lot of water. Why is it taking in so much water? That's not cool, man. That's not cool at all. Quack quack. Beep beep. Beep beep duckies. Beep beep. Oh. Goes alright on forest. Hey ducky, move out of the way. Very stable.
very stable. Water's perfect for it. I'm going to go around one more time and then we're going to see if there's still got a heap of water in it. Because this time I'm not following you, so we can eliminate the hatch as being the issue. Alright, let's see if we still got water in there. Oh, there you go. Still has a heap of water in it. That's disappointing. I don't know where this water's coming from. Is it a leaky hose or something? I've got to check what is happening with this thing.
And we are back. So unfortunately, on the day that I ran the boat, things didn't quite go according to plan. I was taking in a lot of water, and it wasn't until I got home later that day that I actually figured out where the water was coming from, and I'll be showing you where that was a bit later on in the video. For now, I'm going to put this one down to the reviewer's curse, I guess you'd call it. I don't expect every boat to come out of the box and leak water like that. It was just a bit unfortunate, and even more so that I didn't pick it up on the day at the lake, because I probably could have fixed it quite easily. So it was just one of those freaky things. So don't let the running video deter you from getting this boat. It was just unfortunate that I didn't pick it up on the day, that's all. But for now, let's focus our attention back to this guy. Let's talk about some positives here, because I know that it's probably not looking too good for it at the moment. I really like the color scheme, the graphics, and everything that's on this boat. I think it looks fantastic, very sporty, very racy. For kind of a beginner's boat, I think it actually does really well. It's not a supersonic speedster. You know, I'd call this kind of in the 10th scale category, but it can run on 4S, which is what you would have seen on that second part of that video. I was actually running on 4S, and this thing actually, you know, it runs pretty quick. It was actually fun to drive on the water, and given the conditions of the water, it handled it really, really well. So I was pretty impressed with it. Now, on the back here, we've got a plastic prop, plastic rudder, single pickup. There's no trim tabs or anything like that on the back, so I didn't feel that it needed it. I felt that it actually handled you know, the conditions fairly well. The boat didn't seem to be, I think you call it porpoising, so it was kind of like bouncing. It didn't feel that way, at least not until it actually started filling up with water. So I don't see the need for trim tabs on this one, especially for the speed that it's doing. I think it's fine. This little thing here, in case you're wondering, this is to drain out some water, so you can actually pull this out and drain out any excess water. Although for my circumstance, it was better to just take the canopy off and drain it out from the top, because I did take in a lot of water. We'll get to the guts of it in a second, because that's when I'm going to show you the leak. For now, I'm going to show you the remote that you get. This is the remote that you actually get with this boat. Now, the on and off switch is back here, so you actually flick that up and you get a little LED indicator here telling you that the radio is on. This is kind of like a throttle trim, so there's a 50-50, and if you push up, it's 70-30. I think I was using this on a 70-30, so I was trying to get maximum speed out of it. You got steering trim, throttle trim over here. You have your reverse switches here. There's a little bind button just there as well. And this guy runs on 4 AA's. Reminds me a little bit of a Spectrum STX2 radio. Has a rather comically large wheel, but it feels really good. It's small enough to fit on most people's hands. Even if you have, you know, little kids riding this, I think they'll be totally fine using it. Now, it does come with a battery. The battery included is this guy here, which is a 2600 milliamp 3S LiPo pack. I converted mine to XT60 because that's what I use, so I changed everything out to XT60 because I think originally this came with Dean's, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not wrong about that because I can't remember. But this is just a 20C LiPo. It's a pretty standard LiPo. You will get approximately, I don't know, 10 minutes runtime roughly. I didn't really go all out with it because, well, the boat was filling up with water, and then I wanted to try out 4S. So I didn't really drain the battery all the way to empty to find out how much of a runtime you'd get. But depending on how heavy you are on the throttle, I'm assuming you probably get about 10 minutes. They do also include a LiPo charger, so you can see this is the only time I actually see Volantex anywhere on this boat is actually on the charger. This one came with like a European style plug, so you need to use an adapter to charge up your battery, but it essentially charges up via the balance port, and it only charges 3S packs. So normally with these sort of chargers, you tend to get a 2S and a 3S. This one, only 3S. And of course you do get some literature. So there's an instruction booklet for your radio, and of course another manual here for your actual boat, and it comes telling you about how to set it up, maintenance, how to oil up your shaft and all that sort of stuff. So troubleshooting, all that sort of usual stuff that you usually read, I don't know, when you're in the toilet or something like that. Anyway, let's talk about the boat a little bit more. So to open up the hatch, pretty straightforward, and I've got a bit of foam on my hand here. It's just, okay, get rid of that. So to open up the hatch, there's a little twisty tab that just comes off like so, and that is the inside of the boat there. Motor does not have any labeling on it or anything like that. I can't remember what the KV is, but again, there'll be video, there'll be product link in the video description down below, so you guys can go check that out and you'll see all the specs. I can say that it is a 40 amp ESC, and it looks like it's it may look like it's busted. It's not. It's just it's been opened up and it's got like all this silicone stuff in there to make it waterproof. Pretty standard, non-branded, non-labeled steering servo on the side there. Receivers all the way over there. I'm actually surprised the receiver didn't die with the amount of water that this boat was taking in. So I'm really impressed the receiver's actually still alive and well. Battery goes underneath here. I will say the batteries are a little bit tricky to get to and to sort of put in and out. So just bear that in mind. I think I may have put some of these Velcro strips on here to kind of help secure the battery. The straps are really awkward to put on. I found that just putting a little bit of Velcro and just sticking the battery down, you're not doing any jumps or anything like that with this. So as long as the battery kind of sticks into one position, it's not moving, it's not going anywhere, so you should be fine. So essentially that's all it is. There is a piece of foam, you might be able to see the purple all the way down the end. Obviously for buoyancy, there's a piece of foam all the way in the front there, but I mean, if you look at it, you've got a CNC machined aluminium motor mount here that's obviously getting water in and out to keep the motor cool. So you know, the quality of the boat is actually not terrible at all. I don't mind it at all. So I'm pretty impressed. Now, this is what was causing the problem with the water leak, and I'll see if I can show you this as best as I can. I might just put the boat down because this might be a little bit easier to do it this way. It is right there. So I might just zoom the camera in so you'll be able to see just there. That's where the water leak was coming from. And I just didn't see it on the day. I don't know, I was distracted. I was trying to figure out if maybe there was something broken. I checked the hull underneath to see if there was any holes, see if there was anything that was causing the leak. I just didn't think to look through the hoses, and it wasn't until I got home that I went, oh my god, it's right there, look at that great big gaping hole. And that's really where the water was coming from, and that's why this thing was flooding up. Now, every boat that I have ever owned always ends up with a little bit of moisture or a bit of water in the actual hull itself. So I don't expect this thing to be bone dry, but as I zoom out here very quickly, but I was not expecting it to have that much water in there, obviously. So now I'm just going to fix that up, and then of course the boat will be ready for the next time I take it out. Hopefully I won't have any more surprises or any more leaks. So that is pretty much it for the Volantex ATOMIC, as I quickly put the hatch back on, and there it is there. It is a very nice looking boat. It handles the water quite well. Comes with a pretty nice remote. The battery is also included, which is nice, and it's a nice 3S battery, so 2600 milliamp. Not a bad battery at all. I'm actually pretty impressed with the boat. It's just a shame that I really couldn't push the boat to its limits on the day because of that water leak. But the fact that you can actually run it on 4S and get a little bit more performance out of it, I think is a big plus. And given that it's at the moment priced under $200 at the Banggood website, that's not bad at all. At least, well, that's Australian money anyway. I mean, it'll be a lot cheaper in US dollars. But anyway, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you like this format of review, please give it a like. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Check out the Banggood website, and check out my social media sites as well if you want to stay a couple of steps ahead of what goes on here on YouTube. That is it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all next time.